Here we are, the final. And this time I'm not alone. I'm with the very famous Ebony, aka Ben. Ben,
Hello.
I'll
Yeah.
leave it to you. You're our most famous commentator.
Whose
Let's go.
whose lap are you following?
Right now, I'm with Wesley.
As he so down into, I think what he's turned for, get the car nice and tight on the inside, currently in P4 at the moment, and this first section is about keeping it tight to the walls, almost treat them as one sort of long flowing sequence. Wesley making sure he keeps it within track limits. I can notice, did sort of drop the gears down a little bit, I think in sort of turn 8 and 9. Down towards the hairpin of turn 10, of course DRS zone in the game, not in real life. Take it nice and tight on the engine. You could use all the track on the exit, running right up to that Aramco barrier. Currently P5, Peter Vol currently leading things up at the top.
Let's switch to him.
Let's switch to him, yeah, for this. Of course, we've got this long straight before that chicane. And, yeah, a very striking livery, must be said, for
looks
Eastern
beautiful.
Europe. Down towards turn 2021, throws the car in 6th gear, uses all the track. And, yeah, really comfortable, looks on board. And looks dialed in and is properly going for it. Wesley slowly working his way up the order as well. As you stand, one more corner to think about. Needs to avoid Verstappen. Nice wide entry, get on the power nice and early, and I think that's pole secured for Eastern Europe.
I think
a very strong showing from the Dutchies.
Yeah, because there are 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, Kiko disqualified there. As Kiko just mentioned, he hadn't practiced the track, and that could really bite him.
It's a difficult track to sort of just jump straight into. But you see, interesting choice there for Nojo, going for the mediums.
Yeah. And we've seen Peter getting a pole, as I always name him Peter Pole, as he has the most poles on his name in all DTR. But look at the Dutch, you have 2, 3, 4, and 5. If it stands like this in the race, the Dutch would win.
I mean, you've got to expect Jarry as well to challenge a little bit from the back as well. So you can't forget Jarry in this race too. But yeah, it's definitely one of those tracks that you really need to practice just for that first set, because you want to be right up against the walls like Peter was.
Jarry has shown he's probably the quickest of the Dutch. And I've seen 2 of his races in the quarterfinal and the semi-final, and he won both. So yeah, they have a lot of Division 1 drivers, but he seems to be the quickest.
Yeah, the on paper they've definitely seen the quickest team, and they've proven that so far, winning all 3 matches in the group stages. Pretty, relatively comfortable in terms of points for the quarters and the semis, but the finals. Eastern Europe are a tough opposition. We've just seen Peter put it on pole, and I will imagine Kiko's a D1 driver as well, and Haas has great pace too, and definitely up for the fight.
Yeah, I think what Peter is going to be crucial for Eastern Europe, but you need more than one driver scoring good points, as we saw yesterday in the Arabian team, where Shabby won every single race for his team, but in the end, on his own, he scored more points than the rest of the team combined, and they came up short just 1 point to qualify for the next round. So even if Peter manages to win, which will be tough in itself, with the competition he faces from all the Dutch, he still needs the guys like Servulis and Haas and Kiko and Nojot to get more points than he have now in the current positions.
Yeah, definitely. One of the key things about this track is the advantages for the driver behind. There's 3 relatively big DRS zones. You've got the long straight. Of course, where in real life there's DRS, but we haven't got DRS in the game. That's going to be important for slipstreaming. So I think this is probably one of the most raciest tracks on the game. And I think it's a fitting final under the lights. It all kicked off in real life. Can it all kick off here?
Yeah, it's quite controversial. But let's hope we won't see a final being determined with Stewart's outcome.
No, of course not. And I mean that top four of the Netherlands drivers. Just looks mean. That orange so striking. Peter's gonna have a tough opening couple of laps. It must be said. You know, Prinz, Wesley, Brent, all. You know, Brent pole in Austria. Wesley, been a bit unlucky in D1 this season, but another potential. You know, got the potential to win races.
Yeah.
Prinz very good in qualifying, very strong in the race as well.
Yeah, but what I've seen from Prinz lately, also in his league races, he tends to make a mistake here and there. He did so in Austria, but the same goes for Brent. So, and with the team concept, you never know until the last lap, because one mistake and the whole result can be different. But here we go, Ben.
Well, 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights here in Saudi Arabia for the final of the Nations Cup, and it's lights out and away we go. Looks like a pretty good start for Peter. He's going to be on the outside. There's a crash already.
Damage.
Peter does take the lead on the inside, followed by Prinz. Brent getting ahead of Wesley. There's contact between the two Dutch drivers, and spinning around the medium runner of, I think it's Dr. Stravulis, dropping down to the back, but then wing damage for him. Not so sure what happened. I think maybe. I'm not sure who cut across him, but that's what it looked like initially.
Yeah, Starfula's in trouble. He's in 10th, has no front wing lap, but there's no yellow flag, so let's go back to the front where we see Peter Vol followed closely by Prinz and Brent.
Jerry making up another place for P7. That's what it looks like, where it's very tight at the moment. There's Kiko not going to have DRS in front of him. I think he's got a bit of wing. No, he doesn't look to have any visual wing damage, but maybe just not knowing the track. And Jerry could look for a move before the chicane.
He is. He's side by side. I hope he still leaves room for Kiko. He does, but has the inside his head. Jerry up to P6 already. And now a 2-second gap to his teammate. But look at that, the Dutch are in positions 2 to 6, so even if Peter wins the race, it's looking very good for the Dutch team here.
It is. Jaren needs to, in this first sector, really needs to work to try and break that that gap to Kiko. But Kiko may be looking to go on the attack. He's up in an overtake, looking to try and maybe make a move. Is he going to dart to the outside nice and late? He is, but so is Jari. Actually thinks better of it into turn 1. Tactical change behind though, between Huss and No Jug. Back of the front, yeah, Peter Vol just keeping ahead there of Prinz. All getting nice and close.
Yeah, Stravulis is spinning, of course, getting a new front wing. What is he doing on the tires? He goes to mediums. Ben, do you know how much tire degradation is a thing in here in this track?
It's actually pretty good. You know, mediums could go to the end quite comfortably, only 13 laps. So yeah, I think he definitely can go to the end, and you know, probably still will be looking for a safety car though. But one advantage he does have, he's got clean air. He can just focus on his own race. That's 3 seconds. There's a 3-second penalty, but yeah, he can focus on his own race and just try and push on to maybe try a bit of an undercut on some of the guys in front to reel himself back in.
Let's see. Jari closing in a little bit, but not too much. Still 1.5 to Sammy. Ooh, Jari actually cut a lot of corner there.
That's another thing that could be quite key. Penalties could come into play. There's quite a lot of course, the curbs aren't solid and the runoffs are all tarmac, so it is very easy just to run that little bit wide. As Prinz may be looking to go on the attack now, up into overtake on that main straight.
Let's go on board with Prinz there. No,
has a look, but
he's very close at the end of the straight, but not close enough for a move.
And the gaps have started to spread out a little bit as well. See Brent dropping back a little bit, Wesley dropping back a little bit.
Yeah. Sammy now close to Wesley.
But then again, I mean, it's just the pace of the front two as well. Prinz really pushing Peter in these opening couple of laps, and he's now got DRS to play with as well.
Let's see. Yeah, but Prinz can push, but he doesn't really need to push, because in these circumstances, it's a big win for the Dutch.
Yeah, I think, you know, they'd like to win it on track, and Prinz is, you know, he's not just going to chill in second. But I think for the time being, I think that advantage of just being behind at this track is quite big. See, Peter is trying to save his ERS as best he can. He does have more than Prinz at this phase in the race, and from what I can see, none of them have strayed particularly wide. I think we might see the first move into turn 27 here with Prinz up into DRS. So he's slowing down a little bit. He's backing off.
Yeah, he wants to DRS on the straight, of course. So let's go on board with Prinz again. Trying to get a good exit out of the last corner, but still seems a bit far away to get a move done.
Yeah, it was good work from Peter, because the DRS touching point is actually after that
here
final corner.
Here he comes on the inside. Peter tries to defend. Oh, that's beautiful defending by Peter here on the outside of turn 1. Still trying, and here comes Prinz again. No, Peter brakes later. Prinz misses the corner a bit. So it's still Peter leading.
Sammy's just got ahead of Wesley, but I'm just gone on board Wesley through this first section. I've got a feeling he might have a tiny bit of wing damage just because the nose is not really getting anything as he wants it to, and he's already dropped a second behind Sammy. I think might give the position to Jari as Wesley at the moment. Yeah, it gives position to Jari. Bit of team play for the Dutch drivers.
Look at the gap behind Wesley. It's over 4 seconds.
Yeah, I think the Dutch drivers have been practicing this one, maybe expecting to get to the final, and you can just see with how on it they are in these opening couple of laps. But round 2 of Peter versus Prinz ain't coming up down to turn 27. See if there's a bit more tactics involved.
Let's see what they do. Prinz very close again. Not trying it in the last corner, but going for the better exit once again. Oh! That was a bit of a Verstappen there.
That was almost. I'm not sure if he picked up wing damage or not. He has. Prinz has got wing damage on his on that left hand side as we look at it.
That could alter the race.
Because Peter wanted him to take the inside. Peter wanted him to get ahead. Because of where the detection point is, but yeah, Prinz was having none of it and almost was a bit desperate to get on the power. I think he realised, look for this first deck to really compromise himself. Because on this game, it's quite harsh the wing damage as well.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of time now, and Prinz may have been better off actually with pitting right away, coming out of that last corner with damage. He decided not to, and is now losing a lot of time, over 3 seconds already, and is letting Brent pass there. I'm pretty sure he will let the other teammates pass as well. And yeah, maybe this could be a start of a bit of hope of revival for Eastern Europe. Oh, Prinz really wide there, letting everyone pass.
Yeah, I think it's, you'd almost need a bit of you almost want to say to God just to help try and close that gap for the other 4 Eastern Europe guys, but yeah, Prinz may be out of the fight at the front now. Coming into the pit lane is Brent, pulling the trigger on the pit stops.
He is, and Jari started in last, but now.
Oh, and Huss is facing the wrong way at the final corner.
Oh dear. Oh well, this may cause the safety car they need. But
doesn't look quite like it.
No, he's driving again. Ooh, Brent gets a lot of penalties. What's with
so
Brent?
That's going to be on the pit lane exit. It is very, very harsh in this game. If you don't take the entry and the exit right, it will give you a 5-second penalty, and there's Prinz as well. So I'm assuming they've gone in on the entry and gone quite aggressive, because there's a white line you have to follow, and if you don't, it will give you a penalty when you leave the pit lane.
Brent has 15 seconds of penalties, and Prinz
has
10. That's huge. This could get interesting after all.
That might go down to the students. I know the game, it is very harsh from the game, but yeah, I mean, that will definitely give the Eastern Europe guys a bit of encouragement, because there's some hefty penalties as well.
Yeah. Servulis pitting again, as he already pitted on lap 1 after having damage, but apparently his tires either didn't feel that great or doesn't want to go to them in the end till the end and still hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, Peter staying out, not too worried about the undercut from Brent just yet, just happy with his pace out front.
Wesley pitting. Where will he end up? Who else is pitting? No job, no problem in the pit lane. Prince now on the main straight and is in P7. Has no job, no problem, has dropped to P8. Wesley in 6th, Brent in 5th. That means that only the top 4 still has to pit. Oh.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised Jerry's gone this long on the mediums because the soft can stretch quite far. I was almost expecting quite an early undercut sort of from him, but playing it long, maybe going to put the softs on, maybe trying to mirror Peter from a strategic point of view.
Yeah.
From the Dutch team.
He'll be on the quicker tires in the second half of the race, and it doesn't really seem like he's losing time anymore.
I think Peter, is he lining up? Yeah, Peter's diving into the pit lane though on lap number 7.
So
nice and careful on the entry.
Yari do? He's continuing.
He's used all of his ERS though. ERS has got barely any left to play with.
Yeah, but Sammy is copying Peter. Sammy
Kiko into the pit lane too.
Alright, so they all follow each other. The only one not pitted yet is Yari.
Peter should comfortably come out ahead of Brent. He does avoid the penalty for the sort of dodgy pit lane exit.
Yeah.
And Kiko should come out behind Wesley.
Yeah, but
and Prince.
The Eastern Europe team really needs either Nojak or Kiko to step up and move up a few positions. Will they have it? Even stand a chance. Although I'm not sure how the penalties are going to affect the game. The match. Because let's look. Brent has 15 seconds of penalties. He's on plus 17 from the leaderboard, dropping to plus 32. Right now, that will be just behind Nojak, so P8. And Prince dropping more, so that will be P7 and 8. It means that right now Eastern Europe would have P5 and 6 combined with probably P1 from Peter.
Yeah, it's on board with Kiko. He's got a lot of ERS to play with, and also Nojak and Kiko have both got fresh softs on. So they can really attack as Jerry into the pit lane from P1.
Yeah. So penalties could play a big role, especially if a driver like Kiko could move up just a little more. But I think that will be hard because the next driver ahead of him, again on track it's Prince, but in penalties Prince is way behind, just getting another one.
Prince has dropped back a little bit in the last few laps. I'm wondering if he's looking to try and hold them up, try and fight with them, try and have a bit of a battle with them, so that almost Brent's penalty, it doesn't cost him really anything in terms of dropping behind any Eastern Europe guys. Something along those lines. I would imagine they'd all be in a call together, discussing this sort of thing, wanting to make sure they don't have to go to the stewards room to decide the match result.
Yeah.
If they're one of those penalties removed. But yeah, Jerry on the charge, already ahead of Brent.
Jerry's quick. Now the
needs to do
question
about a
is,
second a lap.
Yeah, the question is, can he
That's a
attack
warning.
Peter? Probably. Can he attack Peter? I'm curious. He doesn't have to, but sure, in a final you want to be the winner of the race. But yeah.
There he goes, Kiko down the inside of Prinz. into the final corner.
Yeah. And Peter
Oh.
all of us lap.
Big snap from Prince in the exit as he's trying to get Kiko back down into turn 1, but I think just with that snap he might be a little bit too far back.
A bit of moving there in the braking zone from Kiko, it seems. Yeah, Kiko, what can you do? Can you close the gap? No, I can't see him closing 6 seconds in just 4 laps to Leslie. It would be crucial.
Jarry just found 4 tenths in the first sector to Peter. That's really where he's going to make up most of his time. You know, the quick direction change corners, that's where there's new softs so he can take advantage. It's going to be close, I think, come the end, because I think the further we go into this, sort of the more hungry Jarry will get. Peter does have a little bit more ERS though, so that could be a factor when they get close enough.
Yeah, but let's say something happens. Well, Jarry takes too much risk. It could completely change the outcome of the final.
Yeah, definitely, especially as Jarry's one of those drivers without a penalty, so I think a P2, a guaranteed P2 finish, he sets the fastest lap of the race, 1.3 seconds quicker than his best time on the mediums. Yeah, if he, that almost guaranteed P2 finish at least, is quite important for the Dutch team, with the likes of Brent and Prince having massive penalties. As Prince is trying to go around the outside of Kiko down into turn 1, he's going to have the inside for turn 2, and he gets ahead, so Prince
he's
holding
back
him up.
In
and
P6 again.
I imagine Brent will be getting the hurry-up call to just push as hard as he can in these last couple of laps, just so they can try and get, be 15 seconds ahead of Kiko.
15, that puts 21. Oh yeah. Yeah, but No Problem has a pen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it seems he would finish just ahead with No Problem. Sammy Jensen a pen. That's 6 seconds for him. He could one more and he could actually finish behind Kiko, but I don't know, it seems like Kiko has lost it a bit.
Yeah, I think just sort of stalled a little bit in that battle with Prince. Best of softs might have gone, but Jarry now 1.6 seconds.
He could be really close in the last lap.
It's back-to-back 1 minute, low 1 minute 29s, and then for Peter in front, his last 2 laps were mid 130, so it's over a second a lap there for Jarry, but he's got no ERS basically, and Peter runs really, really wide, might pick up a warning for that. It's going to help Jarry as well. Might get DRS at the first time of asking on this lap. It's going to be very close.
Imagine on the last lap a drag race to the finish line.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Peter does have a lot more ERS, which will definitely help him, but Jarry's going to have the slipstream and DRS and the softer compounded tyres. It is going to be very, very close, I think. It's who wants DRS sort of on the run to the line. I think we could see a little bit of awkwardness at the final corner, or it might even get in this lap.
Yeah, he's within a second.
Just about. It's going to drop just outside before the detection point because Peter has the ERS to play with, and Jarry's realised that, and he's now using everything he's got.
They are coming up to the final corner. Well, Kiko picks up a pen, and that could be crucial. Oh, I think Kiko lost the position. I think he made a mistake there. He is now behind his teammate now, Jeff. Well, I'm going to go back on board with Jarry as they are on the final straight of start finish. 8/10 has DRS, but he's completely out of ERS. 1 more lap to go then.
Yeah, Jarry through turn 1, you see on the soft tyres, got the nose in much better as Brent and Sammy Johnson let through, I think, there by Brent. A bit more pace in this final lap, but yeah, Jarry can commit to this first sector much more than Peter can. And Peter running a little bit wide, he is driving the wheels off that Eastern Europe car. DRS though switches to Jarry. Maybe he wants to move into turn 10. showing him the inside, showing him the nose, staying behind for the time being.
Half a lap to go.
And he's managed to build up a bit more ERS, Jari. A little bit more than Peter, actually, so the advantage fully switches to Jari, but of course Peter does have track position.
It will come down to the final straight. Who will win this race? It looks like the championship is going to be for the Netherlands. As a team, they're doing much better overall. But who is going to win this race? Is it going to be Peter Vol or Jari? What do you think, Ben?
DRS is open now. Jari's going to look to the outside. That's a lame if he hits the wall. Racing down to the final corner now. He's still on the outside. They're still wheel to wheel. Who's going to DRS on the final straight, though? Peter's down the inside. He's still on the nose and he's lost the rear a little bit. Can he get on the power better, though? DRS switches to Peter. I think he's just not quite going to have enough.
Here they are. It's Jari.
Here he goes.
It's Jari. Jari wins the race. Oh, what an ending. And again, Jari wins on track, leading his Dutch team to victory. Is the Dutch... Oh, something fell out, Ben. As the Dutch finished also in 3rd, 4th, 5th. Brent, oh, didn't drop as much as we thought he would. In 5th, it's no joke, no problem. In 6th, Kiko in 7th. Prince, due to his penalties, dropped to P8. Huss, unfortunate, in P9. And poor Savrulis had damage on, well, at the start actually. And was, yeah, out of contention for a good result without a safety car. It never came, so he is quite a bit behind, as now his teammate Huss, well, he finishes the race. They've done a wonderful job. They finished the tournament in 2nd, get a silver medal. Yeah, they were never a big favorite, always outsiders. Even had to drive with just 4 drivers on the first day, as Peter Vol wasn't available. But with him back and the team surviving the group stage, they managed to upset tournament favorites, Austria actually, and still final. You always want to win it, but yeah, they faced a better Dutch team today.
Yeah, I think, you can't fault them. 9 points out of 9 in the group stages. Really strong performances in each of the quarters, semis, and this final. I mean, look at that. 5 out of the four out of the top 5. And Jari, what a drive to clinch the win there, starting from P10 as well on the grid.
Yeah, let's not forget that he came from all the way back, managed to plug in through the field, stayed out long, then had a phenomenal stint on the softs. So the final result is Jari winning with just a 10th of a second ahead of Peter Vol, who had a phenomenal race. Wesley, in the end, finishes in 3rd, Sammy Jensen in 4th, Brendan 5th, and then a lot of guys from the Eastern European team, Young Jack, no problem, Kiko, Prince only in 8th, but still good points, Huss in 9th, and Stavroulis in 10th, and that then is the conclusion of the tournament. It was the first time we did the Nations Cup at DTR. I hope everyone enjoyed it. At least I did. I hope you did too, Ben.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think I speak for a lot of people. It's been fantastically run. It's been a joy to take part in. It's been a great team spirit. A lot of people have been really up for this. And yeah, I mean, thank you to all the admins for putting this together. It's been brilliant, and having a few of the races streamed as well is just a plus. So
yeah,
everyone's enjoyed
we would have loved to stream more, but yeah, most commentators like to race ourselves as well. No problem, but I think the most important races, especially the quarters and the semis and the final, they were streamed, commentated. All we can say is I think it was fun for most people. We got a lot of good feedback, so we are definitely going to look into organizing a part 2 of this event. We just have to find when the right moment is. But if anyone has any ideas of how we can improve, do it better, or give another twist to it, just say it. Mention it on the YouTube channel or on the Discord, and just tell us what you like to do or see next time. for now, I want to thank you all for watching and taking part in the tournament. Ben, thank you for doing comments with me in the final.
That's my pleasure.
Unfortunately, you weren't in the final yourself. You were close, but just a bit short of losing out in semis.
Being by champions, can't complain.
No. The Dutch team were phenomenal, and they won. And I think that's where we concluded with congratulations to Holland for winning the first Nations Cup in DTR. So thank you all for watching. Have a great night, and see you next time.